Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for an absolutely stunning looking car. This is a Lexus IS300F Sport, finished in this wonderful grey metallic. I don't normally do my videos here, but they're actually doing some work where we are, so it's amazingly even noisier than where I am currently. And I'll try and get my shadow out of the way because it's late in the day. But the front of the car, lights and lenses, completely clear and intact. Beautifully styled front end on the car. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's in lovely condition, and that grille is just a work of art. It really is. The bonnet, literally, I can't see a stone chip of any note in there at all. Near side, passenger side of the car, absolutely mirror smooth. Again, just looks such a low ground hugging stance to the car. The only real blemish on this car is on this wheel here, on the outside edge, on the rim, but it could easily be attended to if needs be. But the panel work is wonderfully clean. The inside rear alloy, really good, just a few very light marks on the outside edge. And around the back of the car, there's so many interesting kind of creases and curves in the car. It is a wonderful piece of styling. Offside, driver's side, again, just incredibly clean in the panels. Offside rear alloy, in lovely condition. Tend to be on the offside in all honesty, because they're less inclined to get bashed on the curbs. But and then offside front alloy, again, in wonderful condition. So externally, cars will go by. The car is in absolutely lovely condition. Coming into the boot area, nice to see. Obviously the car's invested in the load line, which has kept everything in really lovely condition back here. Coming to the back of the car, I can try not to get my shadow in the way, but it's lovely half leather interior, which is in absolutely beautiful condition back here. Coming to the front now, again, all wonderfully clean. Obviously electrically adjustable seats on the car, and the seat is in absolutely beautiful condition. Come around on the driver's side, again, door cards wonderfully clean. Footwell area is lovely and clean as well, and the driver's seat, the one that takes all of the wear, shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, and what an amazing interior it is. It was absolutely stunning. Sat nav, as you can see, they're working perfectly. I've put the car into reverse. Get that lovely clear reversing parking camera, even cracking me, get your words out, Tom. But it is absolutely sensational in here, it really is. Come across the main binnacle there. Hopefully you can see 72,661 miles. What's lovely with these dashboards, if you probably already know, I'm sure you do, if you change this selection from normal to power, you get that wonderful, sorry, it's got angle on the camera there, change the view, and if you press the button here, this is a bit I love. I mean, how satisfying is that to look at and to listen to? Really nerdy, but there we go. Fantastic, but it really is a wonderful car, this. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Then this is a quick road test video, and this is for Lexus IS300 Hybrid, and it's the F Sport model. This particular car is registered AY63LWK, and with a mileage currently showing of 72,655 miles. The reason we do these videos is very simple indeed. We just want to make sure that if anyone's looking at any of our cars online, they actually get to see the car advertised in operation. And we feel it's very important in this day and age where people are willing to travel large distances to go and see cars, and unfortunately that also means, as we've experienced in the past, where you go to see a car and it's got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst you test drive the car. So that's why we do it. This is only the second IS300, and quite a big gap between the last one and this one. For no other reason, they've just been horribly expensive to buy. And not to say this wasn't expensive to buy, far from it, but they've now come to what I think is an affordable price range for more people. Wonderful, wonderful cars. Engine or hybrid system. You obviously press the power button to start up. That whirs into life generally silently, but obviously the engine kicks in and out as it's meant to do at all times. Just make sure I don't run this chap over. But it's just a simply brilliant system. And I'm massively biased because I've got a CT200, which uses this system, albeit with a smaller engine, and you can feel the extra engine power with these. It's a big difference. But if you've never driven one before, it's a shock to the system just how smooth and refined these things are. The power delivery, and I use the word seamless because I think that's the only word I can come up with. The interaction between the engine and the hybrid system is genius. It's absolutely brilliant in terms of engineering. And then in conjunction with the gearbox CVT box, it just makes the whole power delivery just absolutely so smooth without any jolting. And it really does make conventional cars feel very clumsy and clunky, especially at lower speeds. These are just so smooth to drive around. They'll quite often be in pure electric mode at those times, and it's just, it's uncanny actually. You've also got the option, you get the different driving modes, eco, normal and sport. So if I twist that back, I go into normal, press the button there, I'm in eco. Eco feels flatter, obviously, that's the nature of it. Your throttle response is lessened. If you go to sport, it immediately picks it up. You get a much quicker and sharper throttle response with the car, which is, I have to say, is the one I tend to be sat in most of the time. But it is a wonderful system. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge just under half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars as well, but all working absolutely faultlessly. Steering of the car is really good on these cars. It's very nicely weighted. It's absolutely accurate and precise to another level. It's wonderful. It's just, but the weighting of it's superb. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at the speed, or certainly any speed up to the legal limit. And it works brilliantly with the chassis of the car. If the steering was over sharp, it could upset the chassis. If the chassis was too soft or too hard, but they've just picked the perfect compromise, because that's obviously what it is, between the two for a kind of a very dynamic driving experience, but also one that's incredibly comfortable as well, because the chassis, it's got great poise to the corners, but it's got this wonderful, it's kind of, best description is kind of a nuggety quality to the ride. There's no harshness to it, but the car feels alive without being unsettled. It's really well done. There's also absolutely no kind of noises coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be. There's no sort of nasty sort of clonks or rattles or anything like that. Although, worth pointing out, it'll be going for an independent MOT hopefully tomorrow. Brakes on the car, opportune time, so I'm going to give them a bit of a shove coming to a tight U-turn here. So I'm going to leave it a little bit later than I would do normally. Give them a nice hard shove, really powerful, nice and solid. And what I'm looking for in particular on an automatic is that there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there are none at all. I apologise, by the way, it's a little bit late in the day for doing videos, so it's a little bit shiny in terms of kind of the sun glaring, so I do apologise. Coming to the interior, I mean, it's just a fantastic place to sit. It really is. Being a Lexus, it is sensationally well made. Absolutely no squeaks, no rattles, no buzzers, nothing. I mean, just brilliantly done, and just a lovely dash to sit behind. It really is. It's got, it's very well equipped. Obviously, you can see sat nav working perfectly there. Dual zone climate control system is absolutely ice cold in the car. I love the fact that it's got an old-fashioned analog clock with Lexus in there. It looks absolutely fantastic in the car. Lovely quality sound system. Obviously, you've got heated seats with 3 settings, again, all working exactly as they should. And then in front, this wonderful information binnacle. So obviously, if you're in different modes of driving. So normal, it's got like a power meter in the middle. You go into sport, you've got a conventional rev counter. And what's brilliant as well, if you press a little button on the steering wheel here, which I hopefully have showed in the walk-around video, you press that, and it just moves across and gives you information on the side there. And press it, and it makes a lovely sound as well. It's really nerdy, but it is brilliant. Steering wheel, again, just perfection. It's just perfect size, perfect thickness, perfect texture. Feels like new to hold. Everything falls literally to hand as well. The whole driving position is it'd be impossible not to get comfortable in the car. But what you tend to do, you're sitting in the vehicle, you're surrounded, your hand falls naturally to everything around the steering wheel. It's just ergonomically absolutely superb, but also interesting, which I love about the car. It's a lovely place to sit. As I said at the start of the video, I mean, the point of the video, as brief as it might be, is literally only to show the car in operation, but actually to feedback on any issues. And there's nothing at all. It drives, and I hate it because it's such a cliche, but it literally drives as new. I can feel no wear in the car when I'm driving it at all. Whoever gets this car will be a very, very lucky bunny indeed.